Hello YouTube, welcome to Sunday in the Shop. We're going to finish this knob off on today's episode. I have pictures and I'll show you. I didn't show it in the video, I lost that clip. I had put tape here to build the epoxy up in here more. Okay, this is my wore out drill. I'll show it to you. Look at that. Look at this poor thing, $20. We can talk about it. One of my batteries, I overcharged it. I left on the charger overnight, and it was not charged up. Well, I let it cool down all day long, and it came out of it. So, yeah, ain't that a shame? But it's just for drilling holes. Watch how good this is. And it's not welding here. Watch, I'll show you. Look at the shaft. That's not bad. I could use this as a lathe, but I like using this. I should shorten this up, but I'm going to sand this epoxy. I coated over the clay type, the PC concrete stuff with 2-part epoxy. We're going to sand this up. And this is hardened overnight. It is hard as glass. So I think this knob might end up being all black. I'm tired of wood grain. But see how I tapered it? If I kept grinding and grinding, it's not the way it was. You'll see by the pictures. And it won't have a ferrule. Another thing, while I think about it. This could possibly be a ferrule. And this is the brass taillight bulb. And see the pins? I know that end's open. But if you looked at this polish, you'd think that's the pins where you pin it on the wooden screwdriver. So, if you went into a parts store, like, say, you got an old neighborhood Napa or something, say, hey, you got any bulbs, taillight bulbs that still got the brass on it? And you'll learn to take them apart. I said, my trick is I dremel this out, the lead and everything, and I start breaking that glass out. See it? Where some of it's left. And wear goggles. That's glass, and that's whatever that putty stuff in there that's in there, too. Looks like concrete. But I kind of mangled this one, but still, it depends on your look. See, it's got a little bit of a flare. Now, you can flare that stuff. I use my plumb bob. I'm going to show you my collection. I've been finding them. I got my radio cabinet, and I had these hanging up a long time ago and started throwing them in there, and I found one more that looks kind of like this one, but shorter. This is that nasty gold paint, and I'm not going to try to put clear over it. Remember the plumb bob? We tried to make it look like bronze. I painted it purple. My purple, say this 3 times. Purple plumb bob. You do it, I'm not going to. Who's that guy back there? Anyway. You know the most accurate one I've probably got is probably this one. I know these are big, these are heavy. But I'd say the most really accurate one was a light string, and I've had them on sewing thread before. I would say it's this long one right here. There you go. Show you all the junk around. I should be using my dust box because this makes dust, but we're going to try it. We will slide it forward, move everything here, and turn it on and sand it. So we'll be back. Let's do some sanding on here and see what we do. Oh, and we found some. We'll show you later. We found some 80 grit, really rough body working sandpaper that will chew anything up. We'll be right back. Here it is. It's 80 grit sticky. It comes on a big long 12-inch sheets like for your sanding board to remove your Bondo, like your Bondo in the door, and you have to take your big 12-inch long sander and, keep it all, the panel all flat. This will eat up stuff. This I use on axe handle. This will eat wood so fast. And I'll be showing you maybe a hunting knife too. I redid the handle. Because I've got pictures in the computer but no video. So let's not lose this. But there's just an idea for you. Okay, let's get to work. We'll smooth this down. Get it painted and show you what it looks like. So we'll take a picture before. Okay, what do you think? This is all the dust I swept up, that little pile. It would have been all over the desk without this box. I do a little emergency taping here. Do not use this for first aid. you'll be using acetone to get the glue off your finger. It's terrible first aid tape. That's why it's used for junk stuff here on my bench. Not bad. Well, let's paint it and see what happens. I think we're just going to paint it with black acrylic and then put chloro where it means we've had good luck. And we'll seal it real good. We'll spin it one more time, see what you think. And that is a 1/4 inch rod. So whatever goes in there will be a 1/4 inch shank. We'll be right back. To you it will be. To me it's a little bit of time to paint it, let that dry and clear coat it. So we may do some fine sandpapering. You know, we use a drywall screen. I think it's 150 grit. That 80 grit body gravel stuff. And just some scrap 220. This is that cheap stuff, like, don't pass it up. This cheap stuff like from the Dollar Tree stores. You get their dollar store, a little pack of cheap sandpaper for wood. That's what you want for wood and putty project. Buy this cheap sandpaper. It works good. It's not any good on metal. But there'll be pits in there. Let me bring it up here. Whoa, that was fast. I said, we want it to look like some old screwdriver now. We're not going to be able to make it perfect, so let's make it look old. Okay, here's one coat. I think this winter we're going to change brands of paint with our enamel. It's still dry in there. I can't tell you the name right now. Scoutcraft uses it. I've been doing some reviews, and Amazon has it. It's not cheap though. I'll probably just order a few different colors, but there's some defects in there. So that's one coat. Let's give it another coat. I did put this in front of my heater just for like 30 seconds to get it warm so it dry faster. So let's give it another coat. We'll be right back. Okay, 2 coats of acrylic. This paint leaves air bubbles, see it? And look how gooey it started getting. It started picking up the... It's just not that good. I said, let's see if it looks better with a clear coat. I mean, it looks nasty, but it's alright. You get back here and it looks okay. Gotta figure, we're only about 4 inches away right here. One of them looks good from 2 feet away. Yeah, it looks good. Like one of them car paint jobs. 20 feet away paint job. We'll be back when it's cleared. Okay, focus. This is a super heavy coat of clear. I mean, it was running down here. It's brushfuls. I probably had 3 brushfuls just putting on the top and just brushing as it got down to that first little line in there. So it's super heavy. So we'll let this dry and we'll see what it looks like. And that'll be a while, so we'll bring you back for another little project here while we're at it. Show you a couple of things I've worked on. And we're back. This is dry to the touch. I like that. I mean, it's not perfect. Got defects in it. Not sanded real good. 1/4 inch shank. So make a nice number 2 Phillips screwdriver. Or even a straight blade. Let's turn it this way so you can see what it looked like standing up. I kind of copied my light bulb. I got a light bulb that tapers. There you go. We'll be right back and show you a hunting knife handle that we made from a cheapy handle from a Dollar Tree store. So stay tuned for more. I can get my camera shut off here. Okay. You know, a guy made a comment. You must like that word because you say it a lot. It was on an old video too. This knife was only sawed about not quite halfway down, the blade put in it, and it had 2 rivets here. My battery symbol's flashing, I always did it. Had 2 aluminum rivets in here. I did crack the wood, but so those are fake. Look at the pictures at the end of my video today. This one goes all the way through, just 1/4 inch wooden dowel. I sawed this in half with my back saw, and not my good one either. I have 2 saws. This was inspired by a boot knife I found out there online on Amazon, which had that shape just like that, but it was brass. What they call it, a piece of brass about yay wide, and it was shaped almost exactly like this. This knife came to kind of a point. This was stain on here, and you'll see by the picture it was a light wood, so it did not darken it very much. Then I put some oil on it, my Watco Danish oil. So I could have faked them rivets and tried painting them brass on the wooden dowel, let it dry. I cannot tell you what kind of wood it is, something imported. It looks a little bit like, you know, hickory has that stuff like at the bottom, but it's some imported wood. And I did that wash on here. I took the 1000 grit and the acetone, took the black off it, and I like that look. It's not black. See how it's a little crooked? See that? The handle, it does not matter. See, that's what it was before, just that black. But it is very light. It balances exactly right here. This knife does not weigh much. It is very, very light. I mean, it does not weigh anything at all. It is a very light blade, and you'll tell it doesn't have much of a shank back in here, and it only goes about, well, about almost to this wooden dowel. I think I liked it. This is the one I made that full handle for a while back, if you remember that video. Or you haven't seen it, it's out there. But that way with this look, I don't have to worry about those lines. This was a cheap knife that had an orange plastic handle on it that I found on Amazon. So we'll take a picture of that, or there you go. It was probably only $10. But I really like it. Comes with a sheath. And the other one I would have had to modify the sheath for it. But here, let's get that out of the way. I would have had to modify that so the snap would reach around. But really nice. I mean, if you gave this, I got big hands, but still. And I can choke up on it. I can get it. I tell people, cover this with just a piece of electrical tape. You will not cut your finger unless you get carried away. You can work with the knife clear up here if you tape most of the blade. So you can actually use a knife like this for whittling. You know, just put something over here, some cardboard and tape. Don't just rely on tape. I just use electrical tape, but we showed that off enough. I mean, it's nice. As far as stabbing this way, I don't think it'd hold up. It'd probably split right through the wood. So it's nothing you're going to go hack down a tree. So there you go. We'll take a little photo of that, and I'll have pictures of this, and I was working on it because I never did any videos. So we'll be back with another project. Okay, I showed this in a video when I first started making that knob that I just showed you painted black. Now this is all done by hand. Okay, this roundness was not put in a mold. Okay, I'm not bragging, but I've done this enough. And I guessed I wanted about the size of a quarter. Let's put the quarter on top. What state do we have? The fabulous state of Pennsylvania. Ooh, anybody out there in Pennsylvania? Let's hear a shout out. See that? And that'll give you an idea how thick it is. This would make a neat little thing for like a necklace. It's not unbreakable. It's not unbreakable. Believe me, you could probably crack this stuff. Remember, it's just to fill concrete holes. It's this stuff. So I don't have to take so many pictures. It's this stuff I've been having fun with. But this is all formed in my fingers by spinning it. And then I took a piece of aluminum metal plate, and I got it and I had it in a puddle of water, and it was still curing. And I smashed this flat. I turned it over, smashed it flat. So it is pretty nice. You could probably fit a penny in there, not a nickel. Or a dime. So you could grind out each side and put a coin in there or something, glue it in there. And I've got those bits that are like a milling bit that'll mill through stuff. But ain't that nice? Let's see what it bounces like. It's not bad. You know, here's the sound of a quarter. One more time. So arts and crafts, because it takes paint so well. The people who fix their yard statues and bird baths and stuff. I mean, if your top of your bird bath broke off, don't think this is adhesive. I would find some adhesive first and glue it together and then fill all the cracks in with this stuff. Fun to play with. Put on gloves. Like I said, for $10, you can have a couple hours of the fun, several hours. I haven't used much at all. Let's take it out of here and see. My battery symbol's flashing. How much have I used in my past projects here lately? On the little knobs I made. So you'll just have to remember what I've used it on. I used on that knob. I used on something else. I had that left over. I can't find it. Yes, I can. I always say don't find something to use your leftover pot. Leftover pots I've been adding to this. I'll scrape up any little bit left. So this is getting bigger and bigger. It's not going to waste. As I said, if you get it just right, back off. You can wet your finger and mold this stuff. Teardrop design. This stuff gets very hard. I'll sit and I'll smack it as hard as I dare. It's really good stuff. And that's this brand. This stuff I told you I scammed a good deal, $10. So I bought 2 kits and there's $13 at the store in the city. Okay, let's find something else to do here. That's my little epoxy stick tool. That and the one I made out of wood, which I showed in a video the other day. I'm trying to grab it. I can't find it. It's in here. We'll find it later. We'll show you later. Here we go. If everybody do before I forget it. May not have a paint stick. You can tell the curved part of the paint stick. Something I had in my junk scrap drawer. Epoxy Bondos mini spreader. Homemade tools to be the best tool. Okay, we're going to switch our battery while we remember. And then we'll be back and finish off the video with something. We may add a video or something, I don't know yet. Okay, we're going to do an experiment live on camera. Okay, this comes in 2 pieces in the tube. Let's say it's 3.5 inches, okay? Well, this shows we've used 1 inch and 2 inches. Does that sound right? Let's bring it up here. Is that 3.5 inches? 2.5. Oh, so we've only used 1 inch. We're going to take and figure out what we're going to do here. Let me pause. Don't let your brain freeze. We're going to make a round ball, but we want this documented on how much we've used. So let me figure this out and I'll be right back. Okay, we've used 1 inch of it. Okay, we got 2.5 inches left. Let's make a ball out of 1 1/4 inch. And I'll write it on it before I start kneading it. So at the end we'll always have that picture. So we're going to make a ball 1 1/4 inch. Just to see how big it turns out. Does that sound right? How about 1 inch? Should we go just 1 inch or should we go the 1 1/4 inch? We're thinking. My brain's just spinning. The gears are stripping. There's rubber bands up there like run for belts and they're squealing and everything. I can't think. Yeah, let's go something standard. Let's take 1 inch. How's that sound? 1 inch. We're going to make a round ball and see what it does. And you see me do it in another video. So wear your gloves and don't be afraid to use some water once you start getting it formed. And I can roll it pretty good in my hands. On a table, it's not so great, but when I stop, I'm going to put it on the table so it gets a flat spot. Then that way I know right where I want to drill at. So we'll be back. And we said, this is what? See, we're quizzing you. We're going to use how much? We're listening. I can hear you. 1 inch. 1 inch. Okay, let's measure out 1 inch and we'll go to work. You get to see this. No, not live. I don't want to get up my tripod. I'm just going to roll. I've already showed it on camera a little bit. Rolling in the palm of my hand. So stay tuned. That'll be it for this week once we do this and see what it does. It's fun playing with it. See, I feel like I'm a little kid again playing with clay or Play-Doh. Hey, Hobbycraft stuff can be fun. Okay, clear your throat. This stuff's only about 7/8 of an inch diameter, approximately. So 1 inch of it, okay. You should have about 1.5 inches of this left. Made a ball that is about one. We already forgot it. So you can see on camera with me here. About what? About a 1/16 inch short of 1 inch, 15/16. So about 1 inch of this makes a 1 inch ball. So I'd figure 2 inches would make about a 2 inch ball. So if I make another ball out of this, which I said is 1.5 inches, maybe about 1.5 inch ball, probably 1.25 inches. A few tricks. I roll it in my hand, okay. And the harder it gets, I didn't put a flat spot because I have a defect here where I'm going to drill at. See that? Some nasty, icky looking. This will get harder and harder. And squeeze it. Don't squeeze it real tight, but keep packing it. And when I finally got it in my hands when I thought it was round, I grabbed this and put water and I rolled it like this, okay? And I kept turning it. So I'm rolling it all. This is the same thing you're doing between your hands, okay? But I kept turning it. I'd pick it up, and you'll get it. Just keep playing with it. And use your 2 fingers like this, or one. You see how I'm spinning it? That's what I do in my hands, even though you might not be able to see it. If I was doing it on camera, you probably wouldn't see that. It's going like this in my hand. Then I go back and forth. So I'll roll up my hands, and I'll go back and forth. So, practice doing it with gloves on in your hand. Don't be afraid to put water in this stuff. Will cure. I had water all over. There's still water here. You can see it. You can do this. That might make a dent in it. I'd hate to press on it, but I can tell it's not rock hard yet. This is going to take quite a while. Now, in a couple hours, you can start drilling by hand like I showed with my drill chuck by hand and start drilling a hole in here. Like maybe something like 1/8 of an inch. 3/16 would be just right, because then if you're going to put a 1/4 inch hand, shaft in there. But what's it roll like? This video's getting too long. Oh, while I'm talking to this, I have a spider invasion. Little bitty dinky ones crawling in. They're like a mite. I mean, they are so small. They're the size of a pinhead. So I may have to go spend the big bucks and buy some spray and kill them. We do not all of a sudden need like 100,000 spiders crawling around in here. Oh, I hate spiders and snakes. Remember the song? Here, let's keep playing while we're yakking. Let's see. I said I'd find those clay marbles when I was a kid. And they were white clay, but, whoa, they were white clay, but they were rusted, so they were all brown with rust. I'd say if I was poor and didn't have no marbles, and I lost my marbles, I could make some. That's a joke, that's pretty bad. Till it bounces, it is not cured. That's my recommendation. You will tell the difference. If I did this tomorrow, it will sound a lot different. So don't put no dents in it. I wonder if you could roll some sandpaper to super smooth it. You know what? I'll do that. I'll let you know in the future. We'll grab some sandpaper and roll us around on it and see. It kind of helps take the fuzz off it. Yeah, that's where we're going to drill. Right there. Sunday in the shop, we can do this. You can do this, people. Get motivated. How round is that? Let's get, see, I got them lines on my camera. There's 2 lines this way and 2 lines that way. It's a grid. Let's get it in a grid. Let's get it in a grid and look approximately. Of course, I got a shadow down here. You know, what do you think? I said, I'm not bragging. I've just done this stuff when I was a kid with clay. And this stuff's better because it gets harder and harder. So once you get in shape, and you can keep, keep going. Don't stop. Don't sit there and keep going and going until it's, I mean, don't go jamming your fingernail in there, but keep going. Don't give up. Just keep rolling until you're sure you can do this with it. Here's one of them spiders. Can we get him on camera? See him? You can see him? You see that little, I was about ready to say the B word. Did you see that ass? Try not to say it. You seen it, didn't you? Yeah. I'm going to have to get some spray. We don't need an invasion. We don't need to come out here and they're all over and be like, man, I couldn't even film that and put that on there. I don't like that stuff. I get scared still. I don't like spider snakes. They're both poisonous. I don't care what you say, what brand it is, they're all poisonous. Let's get this in the light. Take a good picture of it. You tell me what you think. I think that's pretty darn good. If I practice this, I probably get really good at it. So we're out here, we're gone. We've just rattled on too long at the end here. So see you next week.